Hi everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul.
And we're talking about a new trailer for Ford Vs Ferrari. I couldn't be more excited because I'm a car nut. And for all the car nuts out there, when you hear Ford Vs Ferrari, you know the story they're going to talk about. They're talking about Le Mans in 1966. We actually brought this up in one of our Disney Fox merger videos.
We did, yeah.
Once it showed up on the list, I was like, woo! And then I heard John Bernthal from Punisher was in it, and I was like, woo! Then Matt Damon. Woo! The woohoos just keep coming.
Yeah, he was getting fairly excited as more of the cast was being announced. By the way, we do videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so go check them out, and give us likes, subscribes, and comments as well.
Yeah, be nice to us. And also, if you're a car person at all right now, definitely hit subscribe, because the way things are going, they're starting to make movies that I can ruin Paul's whole channel with now. It's going to be a great year. I want to, before I start talking about the trailer, I want to get Paul's first impression, because this is a story that's relatively new to you. I had no idea what way they were going to approach the movie. I think the trailer has given me an idea. But as somebody who's not a complete psycho about this stuff, what was your take?
I liked the trailer. It seemed, it got my intrigue in kind of like several areas within this, story. It seems like it's going to be like the Apollo, race to the moon kind of film. It's like, them trying, there's a task in which they need to collect the right team together. And then it's going to go through the story of all the elements of what made essentially the historical moment happened. It seems like an interesting one. The trailer, I was more interested in, I guess, funny enough, the car moments. The people moments, and then they kind of added in more actiony kind of like shots and stuff, and I was kind of like you've already got me. You don't need to, doesn't need to add any kind of excite. I'm guessing that there's going to be more exciting moments within this story.
It is implied, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't need explosions and stuff like that.
I felt that way. This is one of the reasons I do a podcast with Paul. It's one of those things. As a complete car person, I'm going to end up being a bit snobby about this. Like the very start of the trailer where the guy is, out there's a perfect lap. I'm like, oh God, every car person is going to be like, no, not this cheesy stuff. But as the trailer progresses, it's like, oh, they are going to talk about the story that we know is exciting. There is for those of you that don't know, I am not going to give away any spoilers as to what happened in real life. I suggest you don't look up what happened in real life and wait and see this film. It'll be a better way to experience it, I think. For those of you that know, it's fine to say that Ford versus Ferrari is not an accidental title. This whole thing stems from, and this isn't a big spoiler, Ford trying to buy Ferrari, Ferrari messing around with Ford. Enzo Ferrari, the head of Ferrari, the old man as they called him, basically annoyed Henry Ford Jr. or Henry Ford II as he was known. And then Ford basically was like, I'm coming to get you on your own turf. Ferrari were winning in Le Mans over and over and over and over again. So what better way to stick it to him than to take an American-built Ford and beat him in Europe, round both left-hand and right-hand turns. Because back then, much as today, American racing was more synonymous with high-speed ovals and things like that. The cast makes me excited that I'm not the only person that's going to see this particular car film.
Yeah, no, the cast is fantastic. You've got Matt Damon as Carroll
Shelby.
You've got Christian Bale as...
He's Ken Miles. He's the driver.
Yeah, and you've got actually,
John Bernthal is playing Lee Iacocca, who at that stage in his career was working with Ford, and he goes on to have a whole big... Everybody in this film, they're all characters in real life that went on to have big things, and they didn't disappear after this story, so it's interesting to see them at this snapshot in time. But Henry Ford II, I guess, is he's played by somebody called Tracy Letts. He's one of those character actors that we've all seen before, but for the life of me, I couldn't think where I knew him from, and I still can't, and I didn't look him up on purpose.
I haven't. I can't remember exactly. I've seen him in a couple of movies, as you said, as kind of like side characters and stuff like that. So it's nice to see him in kind of, I guess, in a more kind of side character, but lead, it's more verging on.
He's going to be one of the top four at least, if not top three.
So with the fantastic cast, it really shows the relationship between these characters and stuff like that, which is great because as a not car person, I am interested in kind of like the relationship between all the characters and, you know, the evolution throughout the storyline of how they got to where they do in the end. So like even for a car nut, you know, this is a very interesting drama piece that's set in a historical event. Yeah. So, you know, as much as I don't know about Ford GTs
which is fair enough
and stuff like that, it looks like, first of all, it's the style.
Yeah, well, they have, and it's the 60s. You know, it's 60s and it's fast cars and it's America and Europe. Like you kind of have to get your style right there because there's a lot of cool stuff happening. 1966. A lot of cool stuff happened. Everybody looked cool, and people like Carroll Shelby being that kind of hot rodding super engineer, you know, oh yeah, I'll fix it for you. They were the John Waynes of their time.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that it looks like they're going to capture that.
Yeah, no, it looks like the style looks really nice. They've really got the period piece kind of down fantastically. As I said, the characters look great. Yeah. Now, the event itself, I'm going to have to give over to you because
my one hope is that not everybody knows too much about the event itself, even after this movie. I don't want anybody to come out knowing everything about all the different versions of the GT40 or any of that stuff. It's a big business fight that humans were involved in fighting. It is, as you say, it's the mission to the moon. We have a goal. We want to beat Ferrari. We want to do it in an American car. And then there's the hurdles and the team that has to get together to do it. The fun thing, I think, is that somebody like Christian Bale may be perfectly cast because he can finally do, I know he's from Wales, but an English accent. At least, you know, he can play the Brit, I guess.
Yeah.
But also for him, he's going to get to be a fairly volatile character, which I know a lot of people say that he is, which I don't believe. I'm sure you're a lovely man. So I think everybody's pretty much been perfectly cast. It's a story that, even if told badly, will be fascinating. Mm-hmm. And as you say, it looks like they got the style right. So this trailer is it's hit all the notes for me that I want to see a second trailer.
Yeah, no,
and
definitely.
In that second trailer, I need to see the second half of the title.
Yeah. Well,
not one Ferrari.
That's what you pointed out, as in Patrick noticed that, you know, the first trailer is very much described on the Ford side of things. So yeah. I don't know if that's going to be...
I assume that's going to be the film, but I really hope, not out of respect to the person Enzo Ferrari or the company Ferrari, but out of respect to the story, there was two sides to this fight, and there was two sides that caused this. So if the first act of the film doesn't have an awful lot of either subtitles or, you know, people speaking English and Italian accents, I'm going to be really, really disappointed. Because it is a great story of American ingenuity, but you have to bring those lovely red Ferraris into it and all the passion that came with that.
So do you think they'll do in the second film called Ferrari versus Ford, that it's the Ferrari side of things?
Well, here's my car nerd, because there's a load of people going to be going, yeah, Ferrari won for years. And you know, Ford had some good years, but Porsche fans will be watching this film going, Ford versus Ferrari. We've won every other Le Mans ever, pretty much. Porsche showed up after this story and dominated forever.
Oh, okay.
Until recently, when they were dominating so much, they just kind of went, yeah, we're not coming back next year.
Oh, wow.
Because
that's a bold move kind of thing where it's, yeah, we're done with this.
It's like Brazil going, no more World Cups for us.
Yeah, that's an interesting kind of thing. So yeah, the film from a not car nut, it seems like an intriguing film of team building, an exercise in kind of like, you know, ingenuity and everything along the lines of like the fastest Indian.
Yeah.
Which is
good call.
The Apollo 13 or any of the, you know, mission to the Mars or mission to the moon kind of films. Stuff like that, or, you know, Hidden Figures, and like, you know, it's going to be a nice piece for those like to fit in with those kind of movies. Yeah,
and my final word on this is I'm going to plead with all the other car nuts and car nerds out there: don't be snobby or snotty about this, and don't be all, oh well, they're not covering this. And you know what? This is our chance. This is one of the greatest stories in the history of motorsport. It will be a great shop window to get more people interested in the history and the stuff outside of stuff exploding. So I hope it's good, because it'll help me have conversations with people, which is, you know, it's hard talking with normal people sometimes.
I don't see. He says a name and I'm just like, am I meant to know who that is? And he's just like, looks real kind of like kiddish to me, and then he realizes that I have no clue, and it dies inside. Which goes, so yeah, that was the Ford versus Ferrari trailer, which you check it out. Which goes, any closing?
No, let's hope it's a good one. Just do yourself a favor, if you don't know the story, don't look it up, don't go to Wikipedia, just watch the film. You've only got to wait till November. The link to the trailer is down below. Enjoy that. Don't forget to, particularly if you're a car fan, to give us a like or a comment. Particularly if you're not a car fan, we'd love to hear some comments from you guys as to whether or not you're pumped for this. Share it with your friends. And that's it. We've been Heroes Out.
Yeah, we could like, subscribe, comment, ring the notification bell, and share. It really helps us out in the channel.
I've been Patrick.
And I've been Paul.
We'll see you next time. Okay, in Vogue.